This level was very similar to how I found Lucid Chaos, meaning that I had a very bad experience with it. I don't know how I feel about it. It's fine. So my full attempt count is 3743, but I did have 1100 attempts from 2020, and I will be taking those off because they didn't help me in any way, shape, or form. So my grand total of attempts is 2585, which for this level is honestly not great, but it's super learny, and I had a pretty bad experience, so I'll take it. I'm not too butthurt over that. I don't know, man. I wish I had a better experience with this level, but I don't know. It is what it is. I'm just glad I don't have to play it anymore. Concaved Memories by Cairo. Just like with Lucid Chaos and all the other Cairo levels, I've always thought that Concaved Memories was a really cool level. I actually specifically remember this level being verified by Wooshi back in the day, since I was a big fan of Lucid Nightmares back in the day, and seeing that this was the sequel and it was significantly easier, I always figured that I'd get around to this level at some point. It is a really cool song. It has some pretty fun looking gameplay, pretty learny gameplay, but still pretty fun looking. And overall, I just thought it'd be a really good break in between digital and artificial, since I needed to give myself some time to practice artificial in preparation for streaming it. So I decided to give this level a shot. And again, just like with Lucid Chaos, I really didn't have a good experience with this level. It was actually pretty rough. I don't know, the level was just decently frustrating for a lot of the same reasons as Lucid Chaos was frustrating, such as awkwardness or moving objects or stuff like that. And again, just like with Lucid Chaos, I still think overall I do like this level, but I'm gonna get into why in a little bit. Moving into the gameplay, the pre-drop of this level is pretty inoffensive. The first 10% of it is really awkward due to moving objects. I found that Lucid Chaos had almost the exact same issues as Concaved Memories, so I guess this is just an issue that Cairo levels may have. First 10% was pretty awkward. However, it was super easy, so after like, I don't know, 20 minutes of playtime, it did get very consistent. I was able to pass it basically every attempt. Hell Pegasus's part actually is probably the learniest part of this entire level. I spent probably 30 minutes trying to get that part down. However, once I did get that part down, that part was probably my favorite part of the level. That build up makes you feel like such a badass playing it. I'm a really big fan of that part, despite how insanely learny it is, like just out of nowhere, because the pre-drop otherwise is pretty sight readable. The transition into Hell Pegasus's part, the first UFO click, is bugged on 2.2. You actually have to do a very fast double click depending on the attempt to get into his part. You will either go into that UFO portal high or low, and you have to adjust your inputs depending on how you transition into the part. It was kind of frustrating, but after a little bit of practice, I was able to adapt on the fly to that transition, so it wasn't too bad. But if you're interested in this level, just know that that 2.2 bug is a thing. Moving on to the drop now, 20 to 38% of this level was really inconsistent for the majority of the time that I played this level. I'm really not sure why. I think it was mainly a me issue. I just was not patient with playing this level. Once I finished learning it, I expected to beat it basically instantly, which is just not how this level works. So as a result, I was kind of just brute forcing it from zero, which is not what I should have done. I should have spent more time practicing the learning parts of this level, or specifically the drop. So as a result, this part pissed me off quite a lot. But the last day that I played it, specifically the last 15 minutes that I played it, it got insanely consistent. I was able to pass it probably 50-60% of the time, so it ended up being okay. 20 to 38 really isn't that bad. I just got frustrated with it for pretty much no reason. The 38% triple spike in this level just straight up sucks. It's basically a blind timing because your screen turns white before you have a chance to react to where the triple spike is, and it's invisible up until you get right next to it. So I'd basically just have to wing that part from zero and just pray that I was able to hold over it. For the majority of the time, it was okay, but it was still pretty frustrating. 39 to 55, I have very few complaints with. At first, it felt very awkward, but after a while, it ended up getting insanely consistent. And it's up there with Hell Pegasus for my favorite part of the level. Like, I was a really big fan of that section. I will say that the 56% ship absolutely sucks. The transition into that ship is just super awkward, and then all the gravity portals made it really inconsistent and super awkward, and I just really was not a big fan. It always pissed me off whenever I died there, and I did die there quite a bit. Moving on to the post-drop, 57 to 67 is basically a break. It's super easy, probably the easiest part in the entire level. 67 to 79 is definitely my least favorite part of this level, and my biggest issue with it is not just the fact that it's super awkward. Everything is just really hard to see in the part as well, and it never felt truly natural to play, so I was just not a big fan of this section. I also died to it 8 times from zero, and that really pissed me off. I just really did not like this section. After that, we have the 82% wave, which is, it blows every other section of this level out of the water in difficulty. This wave is so unbelievably difficult for this level. Like, it's such an obvious choke point. I have no idea how this was left in the level, because this level has had multiple updates, by the way, just so y'all know. And the fact that that wave is still as difficult as it is baffling to me. That being said, I never died to it. I have no idea how, because I was never able to get runs to 100 with this level because I would constantly die to that damn wave. But from 0, I just decided to get lucky, apparently. Yeah, overall the ending is fine other than that stupid wave. It's decent. I really have no issues with it. Overall, I had a pretty bad experience with this level because of the issues that I just mentioned with the gameplay. That being said, during my last 15 minutes of playtime, my experience basically completely switched around. I got 89% and I thought that death was so stupid and so funny that I just chose not to get upset with the level anymore. And as a result, for the last 15 minutes that I was playing it, I was having a blast. I was having a really good time because I was super consistent. I was getting a 50 almost every single attempt. I think the attempt before I beat it, I got like 46. That goes to show that this level really is not bad. I think the majority of the reason why I got so frustrated with this level most of the time is because I just didn't have patience with it. I think it was solely my fault. Well, not solely, the level does have quite a few issues, but I think that I would have enjoyed this level a lot more if I just had patience with it. Overall, I think the level's pretty cool. I think overall it's pretty good, which is going to be insane because I know a lot of the people watching my stream saw me like lose my damn mind playing this level, but I think it was my fault that I was getting so upset because I just did not have the right mindset for this level. I think I like it more than Lucid Chaos, honestly. Lucid Chaos was such a stressful experience for me. Those last 15 minutes of this level really did clear everything up for me. As for difficulty, it's definitely around like glide in difficulty. Other than that, I'm not really sure how hard this level is. I cannot judge levels below like Blade of Justice in difficulty anymore. It's somewhere around there. It's an easier extreme. That's pretty much all I'll say. But yeah, overall, if you're interested in Concaved Memories and you're willing to put up with the awkwardness and inconsistencies that Cairo levels typically have, I'd say give this level a shot. Just keep in mind that the transition to Help Exist is bugged on 2.2 and that the level can be frustrating at times due to stuff like the 82 wave or just the general awkwardness like I just said. But overall, it's really not a bad level. If you have patience, unlike I did, it should be a pretty good time. But yeah, that's all I got.